So I guess we are really doing this. Okay. So, hi, my name is Zama Dube, and welcome to my YouTube. Welcome to my YouTube. Welcome to my YouTube. Um, yeah, where do I actually begin? So, first of all, it's a Sunday. I'm recording this from Los Angeles, California. We just started daylight savings today. So, the time zone has adjusted, and that means that my body clock is also adjusting because my body clock thinks it's an hour later than it actually is today. However, I really have been meaning to do this for so long. To those of you who are subscribed to my channel, you already know that what I really do primarily on the channel are DJ mixes, I'm a piano, deep house, but primarily I'm a piano. And I've just been wanting to kind of speak to my people and hopefully forge a new community as well. But I've just been lagging. I've been procrastinating. I think I just was too much in my head about it. And so I just decided, fuck it, let's just do it. So welcome. This is my morning tea. It's freshly boiled ginger. I have this every morning. I usually have it with lemon as well, and I'll have like cinnamon, turmeric. You also have to sprinkle like, what is it? Uh, Black pepper to activate the turmeric, and then you can also add honey, but I'm just having it plain today. I actually have a bit of a Barbie. If you don't know what a Barbie is a babalas. And if you're not South African, that just means I'm slightly hungover. Yeah, your girl had, a couple of drinks. It's Halloween weekend, so they've just been like tons of festivities. I haven't really been indulging in all the festivities of Halloween. I wanted to have a costume, but yeah, energy has just been low. So in any case, I have my gown on. I finished bathing, and I had an amazing, amazing, amazing bath. I've been taking more baths. I usually take like showers, and I think that since it started getting a little bit like more hot here in Los Angeles, I mean cold rather. Since the fall season, I've been getting into baths, like just soaking Epsom salts, bubbles and all of that. So basically, the premise of this is just an introduction into who I am. And I didn't just want to be like sitting and doing nothing. So, in any case, I just want to do like a light beat. So, please do not be confused. I'm not trying to like launch a beauty channel, even though the girlies have always kind of said like, give us your makeup, show us the looks. Listen, if y'all subscribe, okay, because it has to be an energy exchange. I can't just be like giving goodies and you're not reciprocating. So if if like, I think in my shorts, like I will share some of my makeup looks, and if folks like it and they want me to kind of do like a show and tell. Look at me exposing my age, like, school presentation show and tell. What do you guys call, like, yeah, a makeup look, a get ready with me, then I will do it. But I'm just doing like a light beat. I don't want to actually, you know what? I've really been getting into just like treating my skin like being barefaced feels really, really good. It feels good to the skin, and I'm PMSing, so I've been having major breakouts, and I just have been wanting to let my skin breathe. So this is Milani. It's drugstore, so it's not like It's not a very high-end foundation. Um, it's actually max coverage, but it's really good. So because I'm not planning to, oh, hell, because I'm not like planning to do too much in terms of like the stakes of my face today. I'm gonna use this instead of like a Mac or whatever. So yeah, for those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Dube. I am South African, okay? South African, born in Durban, Kwamashu to be precise. That's a township in KZN. And that is where I lived up until I was 18 years old. My family's still there, like that's still home. I just moved when I was 18 and I moved to Johannesburg. Yeah, I moved to Johannesburg for university, University of the Witwatersrand, otherwise known as Wits University. I've heard people say that like Wits University students have a twang and they'll be like, Verts, I go to Verts, which is absolutely ridiculous. Like, I don't know who pronounces Wits like that. So, yeah, I went to Wits and I was accepted for a law degree, LLB law, and that is what I did. And then I decided in my second year to actually switch my degree to convert it from an LLB to a Bachelor of Arts, majoring though still in law. So I majored in law, politics, and African literature. And when I graduated, I did my undergraduate, and I then started my career in radio, which feels like such a lifetime ago. I started my career in radio at YFM. So shout out if you know me from those days. I don't have all my glam here because this is not, I do my makeup in my bathroom, but I just wanted to be seated, and usually when I'm in the bathroom I'm standing. So this is a Revlon Color Stay 5-in-1 concealer, and basically I'll just use this slightly to brighten my under eye. Listen, this is not a tutorial, so yeah, it's not a tutorial, so yeah, just so use your discretion. User discretion is advised. I would usually use like a blender, but I've actually been finding that using a brush is just like so quick. If you just want to do something like really quick, low stakes, yeah. So, and I didn't even prime my skin. I didn't put on a primer, so I left it in the bathroom and I was just too lazy to go back. So usually, you have to actually prime your skin, and especially because I've got oily skin, I use like the Grip a mattifying primer, and then I will use like a dewy setting spray if that's the look that I'm trying to go for. So in any case, yeah. So I went to Wits University. Oh, I explained that part. So I think that after my final year, not I think, I know after my final year, I started doing radio at YFM, but I still continued with school. So I did my honors. For those who are not South African, because yeah, in America, honors means something else. So that would be like just like a postgraduate degree, like a 1-year postgraduate degree. And basically, I was doing radio full time and also doing school full time, and I was also tutoring. Because I had, a scholarship, fully funded scholarship to pursue my postgraduate studies. Actually, that's the only reason why I did my honors, because I thought that I was going to take a gap year, because I was like, I'm so damn tired of school. I've been going to school since I was in preschool. But when I got the, scholarship, I was like, let's do it. And that's what I did. And then I went on to do my master's. I also did my master's because it was fully funded. So this is Sasha Buttercup, and it's a setting powder. And I've been leaning away from it because someone actually told me about this RCA, which is basically a no color powder. So if you blend your makeup really, really well, I find that this is good because then I don't want a yellow undertone. I don't want color on my skin. I told you I'm just doing like a light beat, so I want something as close to the skin as possible, something that really looks natural. However, what's interesting is that when I went to MAC, because I was like, I'm having like a problem, I don't know what kind of setting powder I should use. And I remember like the makeup artist was like, she wouldn't recommend RCA because it's for professional makeup artists. And if you're not a professional makeup artist, you know, and you don't use it well, then, it can crack or whatever the case is. But listen, I'm first of all, I'm Zulu and I'm a Virgo. Yeah, so I'm very stubborn. So I didn't listen to her. I'm still using my RCA. So, yeah, so basically, why I decided that I wanted to like speak to my people. I started this YouTube channel because I really just wanted to build like community. I don't I'm not good with social media, if I'm absolutely honest. I actually didn't even have social media up until I started, doing radio. And I literally was forced to get onto social media. So I don't know if I would have ever, I mean, times have changed, so I guess, but I don't know if I would have otherwise wanted to really be on social media had I not had, a media career. So for me, social media, yeah, I just feel like engagement is usually, people are not really as authentic. Twitter, it's weird because like on X now, X, I have like way more followers. And so that has always overwhelmed me because I feel like, okay, all these people that I don't know who are following me, which is weird, right? Because when you're on radio, you have a bunch of listeners, but radio is a little bit more intimate. It's different. So I don't know. In my head, how I think about it, I'm just like, there's so many people that I don't know who are following me, and that just kind of made me uncomfortable, that idea. And so, I also can't be on like all the platforms at the same time. So, yeah, I haven't been good with keeping up with my social media. And then Instagram just feels like it's so overly curated. So the engagement doesn't feel as authentic. So, yeah. Oh yeah, this is Estee Lauder. This is more like my double wear, my more high end foundation. The coverage is absolutely immaculate. Like if we're doing a beat, like that bitch is gonna sit. Okay, she is gonna sit on your face. Um, yeah. So in any case, yeah, so I felt like, no, I'd rather do YouTube because for me, YouTube feels like it's still a very creator friendly platform. Um, people just, I don't know, like it feels like a platform that is more like appropriate or friendly if you are looking to start like a creative community. And I haven't been as consistent with my mixes because I was so busy with graduate school. So for those of you who don't know, she is Dr. Dube. Okay, so I'm not Miss. And I'm not playing about that because people will play in your face and really treat you like your title is Miss. No, no, no. Her title is Doctor. I'm Dr. Dube. And that's just like an epiphany I actually had this morning because I was like, this humility shit actually doesn't work, especially for black women. And I have to remind myself that I'm doctor because, I just graduated from my PhD like 2 months ago or something. So, I haven't really gotten used to the idea of being doctor. So and I'm like, we worked too hard, we worked too hard to get this title. And I mean, it wasn't even about the title. Sorry, if I look a little bit like lopsided, it's because I don't actually have my mirror in front of me. And I'm using the camera mirror, and it's kind of like throwing me off a little. So yeah, so that's just like an epiphany that I had this morning. So I was just like, I'm tired of people like playing in my face, like I am not doctor, So I have to remind myself that I'm Dr. Dube, and I'm meditating currently on just like what does that mean, because not just like the career aspect, but doing a PhD is a deeply, deeply transformative experience or process. It's not a small thing. Like, how many PhDs do you know in your life who are black women, who come from where I come from, Guamashu, raised by a single parent. I was not, I don't come from privilege, you know what I mean? So there are so many sacrifices that have, come into me actually even attaining this degree. So yes, I lived in Johannesburg, studied, I worked in radio, I did YFM, I worked at 947. I did a little bit of a stint at 702, hated it. And then I left, and I don't know, something clicked. Oh, actually, I remember I was just like, I always knew that I wanted to leave the country. I had professors, shout out and rest in peace to my former professor from Wits, Bigizizwe Peterson, who was really instrumental in just like shaping me as a thinker, as a scholar. And he always kind of like, put it in my head that if you are serious about academia, you're going to have to consider leaving the country, and I was like, damn, and so he was just like, you have to start getting your family ready for that prospect, get them ready, get them used to the idea that you might not be in the country. So listen, I have so many beauty things that are actually missing. So I feel like this beats, just trust the process. But I told you, we're going close to the skin as possible. So yeah, I'm kind of, I just want like a natural looking, just light, like no makeup. So yeah, so he was like, you're gonna have to take that seriously. And by the time I left YFM and I was working for Prime Media, I was so over it. I was so disenchanted by the media industry in South Africa. I just was like, I need a fresh start. I want to be out of the country so bad. And I decided, I remember I resigned with no plan, with no like backup plan. I gave a month's notice. I was like, I'm done, and, probably as this channel expands, and if you enjoy these sit downs and me talking, then I'll do some story times as to actually a lot of the shit that actually unfolded and happened before I resigned. And I booked myself a flight. I was like, I'm going to New York. I'm spending 2 weeks, okay, in New York City. And the plan, initially, I thought I wanted to move to New York. So the trip was going to be an experiment for me to actually see, like, can I really live in this country? I hit up a couple of professors at NYU, told them that I was in the process of applying for graduate school, or rather like a PhD program. I met up with three professors at NYU, spoke to them, and they really like they took me out for lunch, they dined me, I met like some of the PhD students in their program. So it was actually very weird because the PhD students thought that I had already been accepted. So a bunch of them were like sending me emails and congratulating me. I was like, this is going to be so awkward if I don't actually get accepted. Mind you, NYU did not accept me. Um, and that's not because I wasn't a good candidate. It's just when you're applying for a PhD, like they accept, it depends on the program, but maximum usually it's like 5 people. So you have like thousands of candidates applying from all over the world. And, there's so many things that go into how they accept those people. And so I guess really my research interests were not really aligned with any of the professors who were in that department. And I remember it was one of the professors who advised, he was like, I think you should try applying at UCLA. Now, at the time, I don't actually think I knew the prestige that came with UCLA. I mean, I'd seen it in films. I think like every film that is based in LA, not every, but a lot of them, like, UCLA is like that dream institution. And even if it's about an unnamed university, the location is the UCLA campus. I remember there was what was it, Dear Black People, or I can't remember. There was a series though on Netflix which was huge, and it was shot on our campus location because it's a beautiful, beautiful campus. So I didn't know about the prestige of UCLA at the time. And it was crazy because I had put all my effort into my NYU application, and I kind of just I decided the day of the deadline, of UCLA, that I was actually going to apply. And a lot went into that, but I think that I'll save that for a different story time because it was very miraculous, like just in terms of how all of that unfolded. And I basically was accepted for a PhD in cinema and media studies, and that is what I've been doing for the past like 5.5 years. And deeply transformative experience. I went through so much. Like leaving your home turf, leaving the familiar for the unfamiliar. It was, I think I'm still processing like what all of that meant and how that has shaped me and really like just changed me as well in a lot of ways. But we are here now. Listen, like this that's why I had to give the preface like this is not a makeup tutorial because I hear that the girlies on, can be so judgmental. We're like, oh, why are you applying this? Like, it's not it's not that kind of party. So chill. My nails are not done. I actually took them off, I think day before yesterday, but I've been enjoying not having my nails done. I mean, it feels a little weird because I always have tips on, but I don't know. I'm in my baby girl era. That's why I'm like wearing pink, like just keeping things light, keeping things cute, keeping things demure. I've just been feeling that way. And so basically that's what I've been doing for the past 5.5 years. A lot has been happening. Do I love LA? I can confidently actually say now that I actually love LA. I love LA. It's the closest thing to me. LA feels like the closest thing to home, which is Durban. So the climate, the weather. There's no real winter here. There's no snow. I don't think I would have been able to survive those harsh, cold New York winters. So, and I also knew as well that I think, during my time in New York, when I went for my initial trip before moving to the United States, I was like, I think I would be depressed in this city. I'm a very, spiritual girly. So I do believe that like different cities have different energies and just something about the energy in New York. And also I was tired of the concrete jungle. After living in Johannesburg for so many years, I'm a coastal girly. I'm a Durbanite. So I really wanted something that felt closer to that. I needed to be close to the ocean. For me, since it's a Sunday, actually, that's my church. Instead of going to church, I go to the beach. That's where I meditate. That's where I get to connect with God, and my ancestors. So for me, the beach is church in that way. It's a very spiritual place. I need to be close to the ocean. You know what I mean? And Los Angeles has afforded me that. Now the people, I think that's a separate like video. The people are a little bit sketch in LA, but here's what I'll say: the people who are born and bred in the city, gold. And that's the thing because like all the perceptions about these cities, it's usually the transplants, the people who are not even from the city, who come to the city and act in just very weird and shady ways. But you'll find that the people who've been born here, bred here, are not about all of that BS. You know what I mean? So I have found, and especially now that since I've been at Dub Lab, so I actually do radio this side. I've been doing radio with Dub Lab. I joined the team, I believe, towards the end of last year. It's just that I was going towards the final year of my PhD, so I wasn't as involved as I would have wanted to be. I wasn't as consistent. So to me, this year feels like, or rather, since post graduation, it feels like now I'm officially a part of the team. Like I'm a little bit more involved. I'm a little bit more consistent with doing my shows. And yeah, because initially I was just like, let's just experiment. I really also, that's what I started this YouTube channel for. It was a part of my creative recovery because when I started doing my PhD, I kind of forgot that I was a creative at heart, I just was wearing the scholarly hat, and when you know that if you're an artist and you are not being creative, you will sink into a depression, okay? You will sink into a depression. Actually, we are all artists. I mean, we're not all obligated to turn it into a career, but like if you know deep in your heart that you have a calling as an artist, it's something that you just cannot ignore. It always comes back, it haunts you. And so yeah, I felt, when I felt like I didn't have a creative outlet, I was completely miserable. And I just also, however, though, I told you when I left South Africa, I was so disenchanted by the media industry. And I kind of started thinking that I didn't love radio anymore. And I think that that's one of the first signs that you're not in the right environment, because it wasn't the craft. It wasn't about the craft, but it was actually the environment that made me feel that way. So when I just started, I'm self-taught DJ, by the way. So please subscribe, listen to my mixes, okay? If you love music, I don't know a single person on this earth. You must be weird if you don't like music, but especially if you love Amapiano. Even if you don't like Amapiano, I feel like as any person from wherever in the diaspora, if you're a black person or even a person of color, the music will resonate with you. The music is so deeply spiritual, and that has been a huge part of my own healing and, a part of my creative recovery. And yeah, so that's what I started doing the channel for. And I've enjoyed just doing these like sonic experiments. Sorry. I call them experiments because they're deeply improvisational. When I start a mix, I don't know where it's going to take me. Just like when I hit record for this video, I didn't know where it was going to take me. Also, just to put a disclaimer, I'm not going to edit this. That's a disclaimer to myself because that's just going to bog me down. So I'm just going to drop this as raw as it is, okay? But let me know though, what kind of content you would like for me to do. Let me know if you want me to do a little bit more of these like sit down chit chats. Maybe we can do some like get ready, get ready with me videos, because on the low, I think that those who know me will attest to the fact that I'm a little stylish, if I might say so myself. I do like the fashions, okay? So we could do something like that. We could do, I love doing a makeup beat, but I don't know if I, if I have the patience of doing like tutorials. So let me know. But more than anything, please subscribe. Please subscribe. I feel so dorky, like just saying that, because I'm like, oh my God, I'm one of those YouTube girlies. Like, hit that subscribe and like button. But really, on the real, it helps with the algorithm so that, I can also do a little bit more of this content. Like I said at the beginning, it's an energetic exchange. It's a give and give, okay? So play your part in terms of liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting. And even if you just like, Zama, it's okay. You don't have to talk to us. Just give us the music. Then I can also just like do that and leave you the fuck alone. Or if you're just like, no, we want, something a little bit like more planned, more elaborate, then we can also do that. So do subscribe to the channel, do like, do share, do comment. It is a conversation. I started this channel because I wanted to, build a creative community. And so the preface of community is that it has to be an exchange. We have to actually talk, you know what I mean? So please do that. And also do follow me on the socials. But I'm going to click this off now and actually go to my bathroom and do some of the other stuff on my face that I wasn't able to do, so that I can actually head out. Because like I did say, it's a Sunday and I want to be at the beach before the sun sets, because it is fall season this side, and with daylight savings, like, yeah, timing is just a little bit dear makar. So I don't want to, make this like too long. So in any case, thank you for watching. If you did get to this end of the video, then you are a real one. Tell me in the comment section and I'll see you back. I'll be back. I don't know. I'll see you again soon. Bye.